Welcome to Dawn Agreement, a D&D5E actual play, the Book of Zazzit, Chapter 6. Zazzit, you find yourself dreaming as you approach the final island. The island where you might find the Mirror of the Unseen.
Okay, and this is still in the boat?
You believe so. I mean, you're dreaming, but you're aware that you're dreaming.
It's like a, what do they call it, where you go out of your body?
Lucid dreaming. Out-of-body experience.
Yeah. Is it like that?
What you are viewing are rituals of necrotic power. These are passive rituals, like large, I'm talking like miles wide, almost alchemical transmutation circles. That sole purpose is to siphon off a small amount of the power of death from anything that dies. And I don't know if you know this, but lots of things die all of the time. Bacteria, small animals. Wait, what are you laughing about?
Because that's the exact same plot to Office Space.
That's the plot to Office. Oh, I guess it is technically the plot to Office Space. All right.
I'm sorry. It just
But nobody missed $3 million on this one. You know what I mean?
No one will notice. It's just a point of a decimal. No one will notice.
So, all right. Well, come back from death. Come back from Office Space now. You gotta come back. Withdraw back to Acas with me. These rituals are placed all across various points of the continent of Acas. Not too far from the Elven lands, but this is clearly many, many years ago. Not just centuries, but millennia ago. Your people weren't even intelligent yet. They were like primitive proto-lizard folk. And whoever's memories you are dreaming of, this person is creating a linked network that just brings this power. It absorbs it from places all around the continent and channels it back to them. And you recognize the power in these rituals. Like, you look and you see, this is something that I could do with a little bit of training. Like, I recognize these forms. This math isn't too difficult for me. I need to sit down with a piece of paper and a pencil, but I could do it. And there are puppets being created and buried beneath the ground. So these are the remains of like bones and decaying flesh that are being built into something like servants or battle puppets, and then being buried into the ground in the estates of this person to be used at a later date. And we're not talking like hundreds or even thousands. We're talking tens of thousands of these. This dream appears to be taking place over the course of thousands of years. And it all comes apart when you reach out your hand and just force a little necrotic energy into a young child who had just been hit by a carriage and knocked down, and their head was bleeding. And you knew that if you just kept the soul in there for a little while longer, surely no one would notice what you had just done. But they did notice. And that's when you wake up and you realize that you were dreaming Numia the ill-timed, your familiar's dreams, her memories. And you know that locked within her tortured soul, still paying for the crime of all of the lives that she has stolen, she has knowledge of the necrotic arts, perhaps greater than that of your current teacher, Theodemar Leolear. It's hard to say. You're not really sure the extent of his power, but she definitely once was the most powerful necromancer of her time and possibly ever.
Well, the only problem is like, if this my current teacher works out how to flood everything, these creatures don't really mean much. They'll just sink or float. I'm not sure, actually. They might float. They might have a problem with buoyancy. You know, they won't be able to get to where they need to go. So,
well, sorry, what are we talking about floating?
All these creatures that she's made.
Oh, the puppets. Yeah, sure. I mean, you could just attach like a life vest to them or something.
I think if they were flesh, they would float, right?
Coconuts.
I mean, if we were to take the flesh,
in order for the flesh to float, it needs something lighter than water on the inside of it, right?
Yeah.
So like our bodies have both fat and they trap oxygen inside of it. That's not like we're super buoyant. We're just slightly not neutrally buoyant when we put some real effort into it.
So if hypothetically, I mean, okay, so I wake up in the ship, yes?
Yeah, in your room.
And is my familiar reasonably close? Can I feel her?
Swimming. She's attached herself to the underside of the ship's barnacles.
Okay. Is there a way that I could bring her up into the room so that I can converse with her?
I think you can dismiss your familiar and then resummon them after a few minutes in a ritual.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, so it's just like a zombie nursemaid shark flopping around on your floor.
So you showed me something. Was that intentional?
What if it was?
Look, I'm pretty easily swayed by vast amounts of knowledge, and what you've shown me far outweighs what I've seen from another potential person, hypothetically. While he does have great knowledge, he does have some, issues that rub me the wrong way, like having to flood everything. Not a big fan of that.
So the nursemaid shark's dead zombie eyes look at you. And in your mind, the connection between you hear, I can teach you things. Many things. For a price.
Oh, yeah? What is it?
I don't want to be a familiar.
I don't think anyone does.
I want to be freed from this existence and brought into this world as a free intelligence.
All right, but, I've read enough fiction, romance novels.
Why would you read romance novels?
I meant the word romance as in, like, someone's making light of what necromancy actually is and using it in a fictional setting.
Oh, okay.
Like the romantic thought of it. If we go through the process of bringing you into this world as a intelligent being, this isn't a me raising my master kind of situation. You dig?
Partners.
Indeed. But I need another assurance from you. There can't be two big swingers in this place, if you catch my meaning.
You are close to the power to defeat this half-wit, and I will not be held in its grip again.
Great. So I don't need to elaborate then.
We have a deal?
I believe we do. So I don't know what that actually entails, and I don't know what sort of knowledge Zazzit would have, but I do have a resource that I can look into my own future.
Yeah? You've just drastically changed your own future, but sure.
Is there any mention of some sort of rebirth, remuneration, like
No, there is a
making
mention.
chimera or something like that?
There is a mention of the Mirror of the Unseen. So you acquired it for Theodemir, your senior research assistant partner. And with it, there was nothing else left in this world that could reasonably threaten him under the water. And he began the process of lifting up all of the seas. Well, I mean, he's already been doing it, but he started to accelerate it now that he knows that no one could, be like, there's someone underneath the water lifting up the seas. We should go stop him. Right? With the Mirror of the Unseen destroyed, he believed that he was basically virtually immune to any action, and he was right. I mean, your journal, your prophecy story outlines many adventuring parties trying to get down there, but the basic fact of the matter is that just breathing and seeing underwater at that depth is so incredibly difficult that only the most skilled could get down there. And by the time they got down there, they were dealing with sea monsters the size of mountains, right? Like small mountains, but like
mountains all the same.
Yeah, like it's like 4 people get down there, right? And they're like, wow, that wave approaching looks kind of big. And someone's like, that's not a wave, that's a mouth. You know what I mean? Like they just get swallowed instantly. Like it's also a matter of just time. Like the number of servants he has under his command is many. Now, a zombie like starfish, not that scary when there's just one of them, but when you're talking about millions and millions of dead starfish over the last few hundred years, that's a pretty significant number.
There's probably things in the ocean that are eating each other and then becoming necrotic in the process of it just being predator and prey in the ocean. So but at the same point, the Unseen has left these circles active for countless thousands of years, right?
So from what your prophecy tells you, the Mirror of the Unseen has the power to bind creatures which are not reflected in it. And there are very few beings that are capable of not being reflected in a mirror. Vampires, obviously, invisible stalkers, anyone using magic to conceal their presence, all of them, if the mirror was pointed at them, would be frozen in place and relatively easy to dispatch. It was created to guard the front end of a castle so that anyone entering unseen would be stuck there, and then someone would just run into them and be like, oh, another visitor, stab, 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 stab. Or you would just starve to death or something. You know what I mean? Like, you'd just be stuck there in the mirror's reflection.
So this must be a pretty big mirror then.
No, it's just described as being generally a, human full-length mirror, probably less than 10 feet tall.
Okay. So
yeah, you don't need a supermassive mirror to catch a reflection in, right?
It's true. So the goal would be then
to turn the mirror on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's the classic dilemma. Do you destroy the mirror as he orders, or do you bring it to him secretly and be like, yeah, we destroyed the mirror, and also, ha, mirror!
Well, it depends. Can I get to that depth without... I mean...
He's promised to start teaching you things just as soon as you destroy that mirror,
Okay.
Assumably, he'd be bringing you down there. So, okay. I mean,
I'm in for the double cross offer. That's what
all right. Perfect. All right. So listen, Numia is technically your familiar and will do anything you order her to do, right? But you've now entered into not exactly a binding contract, but a promise with her that you will use the mirror to destroy him, and then she will teach you how to turn her into a, something of, I wouldn't say a living creature, but an undead creature with more powerful than a zombie nursemaid shark. From there, she will give you great power and rewards just as soon as she's, back in the world of the unliving.
Mm-hmm. All right.
The ship has approached the Isle of Githgeth.
So, I'll leave the ship and maybe try and find someone to give me a tour or something along those lines.
So the docks here allow the ship to pull right up to the side. And it seems as if there is a brisk trade of people appearing out of nowhere, like ships that just appear out of planar portals, sail up, sail out, go back into their planar portals and leave.
Huh.
And when I say ships, know that I'm using that term extremely loosely. Like a blue whale with people that are inside its mouth that opens its mouth and disgorges them as passengers. A storm cloud that genies and Ganassi are riding on, right? What they're selling on the docks here is conceptual in nature. So people are selling the essence of luck or wisdom or intelligence, bravery and compassion and empathy, but also really negative shit like anger, hatred, and wrath and despair. Things that you could add to yourself and experience in their fullness. It's so incredibly abstract.
Like they're selling like macaroons with the essence of fear in it,
Sure, you could get it infused into a macaroon, I guess, if that's what you're doing. The residents of this island appear to be a sort of pale yellowish skin, gangly limbed race. There is a significant difference between the two subsects of it. One is called the Gith Yankee and the other is called the Geth Serai. They appear to be in a sort of uneasy, like the two races or sub-races don't really interact with each other that much. You don't see them bumping into or jostling each other, but they do achieve a sort of harmonious separation between each other here on Githgeth.
Okay. So, is there any sort of porters or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. All right, yeah, you could talk to somebody. All right, so one of them, Gethzerai, with like a long mustache and a really bad attempt at a comb over of like 5 crinkly white hairs, approaches you, and he's got those really tiny glasses that he adjusts and says, "Ah, yes, welcome, traveler. My name is Geth. How can I help you today? Do you need to offload any cargo? Or perhaps you'd like to buy or sell?"
No, nothing like that. I need you to announce me at the castle.
At the castle? Which castle?
The castle.
We don't really have castles here. I mean, we do have a sort of central, government building. I mean, castles is such a human concept, And, all right. I just
where
have
your government resides.
Okay.
I need to go there.
I just need to ask you a few questions. Just know that your failure to answer these is fully within your rights and can't be used against you. Are you or have you ever been a master of evil and or necromancy?
I look around, it's like, is that a trick question?
No, you can answer yes or no, or that you choose not to answer at this time, as is your right.
No, I've never been a master of necromancy or evil.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw real quick.
Have I ever been a master of necromancy?
You literally have a familiar. You have a necromantic familiar. You can roll or you can rethink your answer if you want to.
Well, I mean, he asked me specifically if I've ever been a master. I don't consider... Zazzit doesn't consider himself a master.
Your familiar considers you a master.
Yeah, but it's like a level 1 spell, bro.
Let's make the roll. Wisdom save.
Wisdom?
Yeah.
Wisdom save. 13.
You're about to answer, and then you're like, I can't say it. I can't say it, and that's fine. You just stand there smiling, and he goes, okay, so no answer. Just no. This can't be held against you in any way. Are you bringing anything dangerous onto the island, or do you intend to commit any crimes? Crimes herein contained within this document, and he pulls out something from his little porter's vest that has like thousands and thousands of entries.
The only weapons I bring onto this is these guns.
But do you intend to commit violence or crimes while you're here?
No.
Okay, but you do intend to take or steal the Mirror of the Unseen, right?
Yeah, I'll do it.
I need you to make another wisdom saving throw then.
Okay. Am I not allowed to lie? Like, what's happening here?
Yes, you're not allowed to lie.
Okay. 19.
All right. You see, you just stand there and smile at him. You're like, I want to quip at him. I want to say no. I want to lie. And he's like, okay, so no answer. All right. Well, those are really the only two questions that matter. I could ask some others, but all right. Let me just is this diplomatic in nature?
Of course.
Oh,
I'm here on behalf of the... I've forgotten the name.
It's a Dawn Agreement. It's just the name of the show. It's no big deal.
I'm so sorry.
I called it... No, it's fine. I called it an Atlas and Awesome last week, and Tuesday night I called it a Deer and Lamb. So I'm losing it, man. I'm losing it.
Yeah, I'm here on behalf of the Dawn Agreement.
So he summons a flying carpet to transport you.
No.
All right. Now, this is not an Aladdin flying carpet. It doesn't, like, have pizzazz and an attitude of its own. It's simply a taxi service. It's a AI car that's only purpose is to travel between two locations pre-programmed into it.
Oh, it's the magic carpet from Aladdin when Jafar is there in a...
Oh, perhaps. Okay, I was thinking more like riding your griffin from World of Warcraft's first area to the place where you fight the pirates.
It takes 20 minutes, and it's like
the dead mines. Yeah, but you have no way to control it, right? The whole time.
And then,
you know
then
what I mean?
It pauses for a bit, and then it goes.
Does some needless swoops down between trees just so you get that cinematic feel. Yeah, this is exactly how the ride goes.
14th time you've seen it, yeah.
Dead Mines battle. What could be better? You arrive at this location. There are hundreds of Gith and Geth wandering around, appearing to be in some form of distress and philosophical debate, passing papers between each other, arguing loudly. When you arrive, a Gith approaches you. He's got a crystal sword with a handle tipped over his shoulder, and he goes, "Ha! Who are you, outsider? What are you doing here?"
My name is Outsider. I'm here to bring the outside to you.
Yeah, okay, smart guy.
Well, then why do you ask dumb questions?
I'm asking who you are and what you're doing here.
No.
Is that a dumb question? Let's sit down and discuss. And he reaches behind a pillar and pulls out two collapsible chairs.
He turns his sword over. It's a blackboard. He starts writing on it.
No, but he actually does pull out two collapsible chairs from behind a column, a pillar, and slides one over to you to sit down on. This. Let's discuss. Is it a stupid idea to ask visitors to this location what their name and purpose is? I believe yes.
Keep walking towards the...
Oh, man, as soon as you try to pass him, he puts the crystal sword out in front of you. And as you're getting close to it, you're feeling something in your body start to get disrupted. You're like, oh, this doesn't feel good.
What is the purpose for stopping someone on a diplomatic mission?
You haven't told me who you are, and this is the first I've heard of a diplomatic mission, but if you take one step further, your soul is going to leave your body.
I'm here to talk to someone that has regency over this people.
Great. My name is someone who has regency over this people. Why don't
Good,
you tell me
didn't
why
you
you're
say
here?
that? I'm here on a diplomatic mission for the Dawn Agreement.
Yeah, outsider? Is that Mr. Outsider or Doctor?
Please, Mr. Outsider was my father.
All right, the two of you are in a sarcastic quip-off. That sword right there is still very troubling.
So are you the person I need to actually converse with, or are you simply wasting my time?
We've heard of this Dawn Agreement. We want nothing to do with it. The Dawn Agreement has not paid enough attention to what's going on in this world. We are the only ones who need to be concerned with the planar fractures.
So let me ask you this. You know about the troubles rising from the deep then?
It's true. There's a necromancer of great and evil power. We're doing what we can to stop his servants from interfering with the operations of the Nexus.
And that's exactly why I'm here on behalf of the Dawn Agreement. And if you stopped for a moment and actually listened to outsiders as they came in, perhaps you would have some knowledge of this already.
Yeah, most outsiders don't come lying about their name and purpose, Mr. Outsider.
Yeah, well, I tend to get a lot more welcoming attitudes than swords pointed in my general direction. They seem to make me a little bit more easier to converse with.
So he puts the sword away, but gestures to the collapsible seat and says, "Sit down, let's talk."
I'll poke my tail through the back of the collapsible chair and sit down.
Yeah. What do you know?
A great deal. I know that his intention is to submerge all of the lands above the water.
That checks out. That collates with our data.
I know that he has amassed an entire domain of creatures at his disposal.
That's a little new, but that also tracks. What else you got? Anything fresh?
There's nothing fresh down there. It's all rotting, and it's all under his control.
Okay.
I also know how to defeat him, and that's the main reason why I'm here.
Okay. Tell me more.
Why should I trust you with this knowledge?
Why should I trust you?
Well, I'm here offering an actual solution to the world's problem.
Sure.
You're
We're
here
working
pointing
on
the
a
sword at
solution
me.
as well. I want to know what your solution is. You need something from us, right? You said that you needed to come here to get something. Just now.
I never said that.
I mean, you said something like that.
How about this? Negotiations tend to come down to two things. The first is there needs to be a little bit of a olive branch between the two parties involved. Would you agree with that statement?
You need to get to a point at some point.
I need to make sure that the information that I tell you isn't going to be used against me.
Why would it be used against you? You know, now's a great time to mention that today's show is sponsored by Burt's Bees Beeswax. Burt's Bees. It's the bee's knees, protecting your lips from cold, dry winter weather year-round. That's right, Burt's Bees Beeswax. Today's flavor, mango moisturizing lip balm.
Sorry, what were we doing?
You were trying to get immunity for your crimes. You said, I need to know that this information won't be used against me. And he was asking, why would it be used against you?
Well, simply because what I tell you, you'll attempt to do and naturally fail. Thus ruining every single chance that we have of dealing with the problem.
No. Well, I'll tell you what. Make a persuasion check. All right.
21.
So just know, 21 does not mean he says yes. 21 means you get the nearly the best possible outcome for this situation. And he says, you will tell me what needs to be done, and I will decide whether I tell everyone else what you wish to hide.
So it's all threats then.
You have something you wish to hide. I am not certain what it is. But if your purpose is true, I will protect you from your own misgivings.
That is a load of baloney. I'm sorry.
I am asking you to trust me.
With little or no respect for me in this arrangement.
I could have just killed you. I have chosen instead to talk.
Wow. Spoken like a true negotiator.
Yes. He smiles. I am considered to be one of the best negotiators among my people.
I stand up and I untuck my tail and I simply walk back to the pier.
You're not going to take the carpet back?
Oh, the carpet's there?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, listen, you're at a receiving area. You know what I mean? Like you've arrived at the government area, but you're on like a veranda. You just take two steps back and you get back on the carpets. You do that thing where you're just like waving at them as you're moving backwards.
I do the water tribe.
Water tribe out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he did. He didn't do the finger. What am I talking about? I'm misremembering that.
Oh, he did it several times with several different hand gestures. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Don't mind. What's the new plan? You make your way back to the pier of Githgeth.
If I know anything about piers, laden with undesirables.
You listen, normally that would be true, but this is an island of philosophers. That said, you're not totally wrong. It's just that the undesirables you're looking for here are like demons or like whatever the evil version of genies are, shaitans, right? Like you're not looking for shitty humans. You're looking at the extraplanar cast of evil here.
Okay.
A down on his luck rock monster called a Zorn that eats gems. He doesn't have any gems, so he's on the docks just like slowly melting into the pier rock, desperate for a gem.
The type of person I'm looking for is someone proficient in larceny.
You mean thievery, breaking and entering, acquiring a large mirror and bringing it back.
Yes. Okay. Or at least locating that mirror.
You have a couple options. As mentioned, there is a shaitan who can grant wishes. There is a price to such an arrangement.
A shaitan?
Yes.
Grant wishes. Okay. Before I make any decision here, I might actually...
that was just the first one. All right. You keep going, though. You keep going.
I might actually phone a friend.
Oh, which friend are you phoning?
Well, I know I can't bring in a player.
Not this late, no.
Not this late, no. But I would like to potentially bring in the Dawn Agreement NPC when you can't connect to the internet, and it gives you like a pre-made NPC that comes in.
Oh, sorry, they're not called shaitans anymore. I guess it's not a free, it's the other version. Anyway, there's an evil genie that can grant wishes. All right, look, you can't connect to the Dawn Agreement internet guy. There's just a guy at the other end when you call. It's not Operator 29 this time. It's a young elven woman It's like, oh, hello, Mr. Zazzit. I'm just here following your case and several others. Do you have an update real quick?
Yeah. Listen, I've uncovered the cause of all of the extraplanar activity.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, well, it's global threatening.
Yeah, that's why we sent you.
I would put this at the red on the scale of doom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like 3/4 of the way, because red isn't, all the way at the end.
No, I would put it at the end.
Oh, all the way. Okay, so like ultraviolet. Got it.
Mm-hmm, yeah. So, short story. If I don't do the thing that I need to do, the entire world will be submerged.
Okay. How can we help you do what you need to do?
I need someone specialized in larceny and stealth.
Okay. I think we have an operative available who can help you.
And this is a sort of a no questions asked kind of deal. I need it ASAP.
We can arrange that. It will be costly, but we'll cover it.
Fantastic. Let's make magic.
So she hangs up, and you hear someone whisper in your ear, "You called for me."
I don't even turn around and I say, an agent, I assume.
I'm a mercenary.
What do I call you?
Shadow. And then something passes under your arm, but also over your shoulder, as a creature of pure shadow just mists around you and forms itself into something like a human and says, "I'm a shadow walker."
I see. You might not be the most appropriate person for this job, but if you follow my instructions, you shouldn't get caught.
Caught's the least of your concerns. You just tell me what you need to be stolen, and I'll acquire it.
There's a particular mirror which captures the unseen hanging somewhere at the gate of some building.
Okay, I could see where the confusion about castles has come from. What I said was that the mirror was crafted for a castle. It's no longer located there.
Oh, okay.
It was the original purpose of the mirror. Original purpose. Now it's basically like antique now. It's in the back of somebody's garage in the dangerous artifacts area.
Okay.
They're waiting to spruce it up a bit, maybe get an extra $200 on the price.
Okay, I see.
Okay.
I thought it was in some fucking parliament building guarding some king.
No.
Like
It's in the dangerous artifacts vault.
Okay, I see.
All right, so as a shadow walker, he may have problems if the mirror catches him.
That's what I was thinking.
He's like, there could be problems, but don't worry. I'll approach the mirror from an angle that it can't see me at. I'll come out.
Bring your own mirror or something.
Of its own shadow. All you have to do is make sure that someone is putting light on the mirror.
Well, we need to find where the mirror is at first.
That's a you problem. But don't worry. I'll be real close. And then he swooshes through you and into your shadow.
Okay. Okay, that didn't really help me all that much, I guess. But all right, here I was thinking it'd be at the front of Parliament. So now, with that in mind, I'm going to source some rumors so I can work out the location of this hidden vault with all this stuff in it.
Where do you want to get those rumors from? The pier here?
1 second, Arthur. I'm sorry.
The thing about Burt's Bees is that it's also edible. When you're done using it, you could lick it off your lips. I mean, you shouldn't. That would be a waste of time. But you could. The other thing to talk about is the song Owner of a Lonely Heart. Is it one of the best songs ever written? Yes.
Right. Hmm?
No, don't worry. I was just keeping the audience entertained.
I see. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just going to try and find, I don't know, some liquoring hole or something like that. I don't know if they have it in a place like this.
Yeah, so people don't really get drunk around here. They take essence of euphoria or confusion.
Fine, then I'll find the. I'll find
It's
the
it's
smoke
less
den.
it's less a bar and it's more of a vaping den, to be honest.
Yeah. Then I'll go to the vaping den.
All right, so I'm not saying there's a bunch of e-cigs around, but people are basically like taking.
What do they
these,
call them? The habib or something like that? Or whatever?
I don't know. They take a small bottle and like puff it real quick, and they're like, "Oh, that's the stuff. Oh, this is the best I've ever felt, man."
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'll just sort of peruse around. Maybe start some conversations with people.
Make an
Slide
investigation
some
check.
currency over.
You don't have a lot of currency left, but you've got. Oh.
Yeah. I do have insight, but I don't think that works here. So yeah.
So here's what happens.
Mm.
You're spending a handful of gold pieces that you have left, buying people small hits of euphoria and whatever else they want. You're walking around having a discussion with folks, and then someone basically grabs your arm and pulls you into a back room. It's like, so I heard you're asking questions about the dangerous artifacts vault. When you get a look at this person, they are a Geth, pretty buff for a normally thin, wiry, lanky species. He's kind of short as well. He's like the dwarf version of a Geth. He doesn't seem anywhere near as aged as the others yet either. He's just got like a stubble above his lips.
Okay.
What do you want to know about dangerous artifacts?
Mostly where they're found.
I know where they're found. I can take you there if you help me get what I want.
Elaborate.
Does it matter? You're desperate. You have to be desperate to come to a place like this.
Are you going to tell me, or you're going to waste my time?
You should come with me. As long as you've got good martial arts.
What do you want in exchange? Can you just at least tell me that much?
All I want in exchange is to also remove an item from the dangerous artifacts vault.
Okay. That's fine. Why haven't you done it?
I'm not strong enough, not yet. But with your help, we could take on the guards and get in and get out.
What exactly are you looking for in this vault?
He turns and starts walking away, and he says, "Are you coming or not?"
It's less about us getting in and more about one of us getting in. So, in the case where, I get in or someone that is close to me gets in, what am I looking for in exchange for your information?
Oh, this isn't a stealth operation. He takes a stance and slams a foot against the ground. He goes, "We're going in hard, and we're going in
I
hot.
thought your people were subtle.
My people are weak. Only by getting what I need can I protect us."
Okay, hang on a minute. If your people are weak and you aren't strong enough to get in, that doesn't give me much faith in your abilities.
That's because there's a lot of them. I need somebody to watch my back. He holds out an arm like this and he goes, "Look, are you going to help me, bro, or what?" Now, I want to remind you, you failed this roll. This is the best you're getting if you're looking for help here.
What if I torture him?
I mean, sure. He definitely knows where it is, so.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just looking over my spell list real quick.
There's no spell called torture and answer out of somebody. D&D isn't that dark yet.
Yeah, it's true. All right. I just sort of I look at him and was like, okay, but you need to stop with all that gung-ho shit. We're not going to have an army at our disposal to get through this supposed wall of people. So you got to be a little bit more subtle about it.
All right. We'll go in subtle to start with, but when we go hot, we go heavy. Now, you going to shake my hand or not?
You have very strange customs. I'll shake his hand.
All right. So you like shake his hand normally, but he's going for the bro grip, so it ends up being really weird.
Yeah, I know. My intention.
All right. So
I like grab one of his fingers and shake it, you know? Like
he has you come with him to one of the flying carpets. But in the process, people are like, no, stop! Don't let him get on the carpets! It's Sashim again! And he's like, that's right, losers, you can't stop me now. So
you're known for doing this, huh?
The two of you get on the carpet, which has a much higher land speed than the people here can deliver a message. So you're going to get there before the chaos. But you get the idea that this isn't the first time he's tried doing this.
Okay. He's kind of like the Naruto of the village, huh?
Look, if he could just get that forbidden scroll, he would be able to learn great ninjutsu.
We'll use our companionship to break all the foes. It's like, okay, calm down.
Listen, my favorite part about Naruto is the fact that with Goku, he steals everybody's moves, right? And no one ever calls him out for it. But Naruto just blatantly steals people's moves from them right in front of them and barely changes the name. And he's like, that's right, I stole your move, bitch. What you gonna do about it?
I stopped watching that show after a while. It got real. Anyway.
It's still ongoing, right?
I know.
Boruto.
Whatever. So,
yeah. Listen, there are good and bad parts of Boruto before it got pretty fucking weird.
Oh.
You arrive, and it's immediate violence, right? So he's standing behind you to hide himself from the same... You arrive at the same guy's place. But then he leaps out from behind him and punches that guy in the face and then just starts pounding him into the pavement. He's like, all right, now that he's dealt with, we can get in here real stealthy-like. And then just walks in the middle of the fucking... He just walks normally. Come on, let's go.
I like literally say under breath, like, Shadow.
Yeah, he's like, yes.
Use this distraction and get our stuff done, please.
You need to put a light on the mirror. I'll be able to draw its essence into shadow.
I'll see what I can do.
All right. You feel something leaving your shadow, and then occasionally, if you're looking very closely, you can see it sinking into the shadow of one pillar and then out of another one. Who's basically it's a lot like a
Baldwin.
No. It's a puppy dog that's following you, like boing, 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 but with no physical motion. It's just moving from shadow to shadow.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know how long you want to keep this guy alive or follow him to the dangerous artifacts vault. Which, by the way,
as soon as he shows me the way.
Okay. Yeah. He's like, this way. Just keep following here. Take a left and then the first right.
Okay. And then I'll just ignore him after that and just go find it. Yeah.
I mean, but the two of you are headed in the same direction. All right. At some point, someone walking down the hall goes, Sashim, it's you. And then they like whip out a giant crystal sword from under their cloak. And Sashim does the same thing. Swoosh! And then they're both like fighting, but they're running along the side of the wall. And I don't mean like they're running so fast they're running along the wall. What I mean is they've changed their internal gravity to just match the side of the wall as they're fighting each other. So they're like circle each other, but for you, it's like they're moving like this, right? So you're just looking at them. You're like, well, this could be really dangerous with them swinging that sword around.
So I'm going to just go over to the door and open it.
Do you have a light source of any kind?
Yeah, I have the light spell.
All right.
I believe. Yes.
When you use it, the mirror, you see a mirror very briefly reflected and then it disappears. There's all sorts of other stuff in here. Several masks, giant swords, spears, scroll cases, a super giant scroll case, a staff that looks like it's made out it looks like it's made out of a bunch of monkey tails that have been twisted together. It's actually kind of fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
All sorts of weird and dangerous shit in here.
For me personally, I like Zazzit doesn't have any interest in these sorts of things, right? He's not like a magpie or anything like that. He's in here because his thirst for knowledge has driven him to the point of like double crossing, essentially. So,
all right, I'm gonna speed run the end of this then. I just want to say, as the last bit of light of your light spell crosses the door, like you're leaving, right, and we get that angled cut of light. We see a deck of cards in a corner, desperate to be drawn. You return while your man Sashim is busy fighting all the guards off. Without your help, doesn't seem like he's gonna win.
I asked him what he wanted and he didn't tell me, so it's like
it's just that without help he can't succeed. So he's like, betrayal! And he can't stop you because he's so busy locked in a sword fight.
I'm just like,
yeah. You leave. Shadow presents to you the mirror, and like the Dawn, like with quick communications, the Dawn Agreement gets you some sort of diving mask that's magically enchanted to allow you to survive both the pressure and the lack of oxygen down there, and setting a trap with Shadow. Shadow transports you through the plane of Shadow, which is incredibly painful, down to Theodemar, and you just press out like, boom, you show up in Theodemar Shadow with the mirror, boom, bam, done. It's over. That's like, it. No. I mean, it's literally, we could play that out, but I mean, it just goes like that. It's just bing, bam, boom, it's done.
Yeah.
He's stuck in place, and Shadow's just like, yes, and like consumes him whole.
Nice.
Yeah, I got my payment. But his voice sounds really weird because you're underwater, but he's not speaking, right? Using oxygen. So
we just underwater fist bump.
No, I mean, his voice vibrates the water, right? He doesn't need oxygen because he's a creature of pure shadow. But yeah, like, I don't have a filter for it on my stream deck.
Come find me in 15 years.
There are a lot of creatures all around you that have suddenly lost the master who was mind controlling all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, you're smiling and nodding your head. I have no idea what you're going to do next. Are you going back with Shadow, or are you staying down here? Like, what's the plan?
Well, I mean, eventually I'll die if I stay down here, so that's not, that's not a good thing. So
I don't know if you know this, Dave, but eventually you'll die no matter where you go.
Dang, that's deep.
You literally just killed an ageless immortal vampire who was planning on living forever. So.
Yeah, so I'll go back to the surface. Is there any, like, does he have? Where did we pop up and do this? Was he in like some sort of hovel, or like was it
him? No, he was deep underground. He'd formed something of like a underground kingdom.
But was there any? What I'm saying is, was there any antiquities in there, or knowledge, or anything like that I could?
I mean, I don't know if you know this, but books don't survive underwater very well.
Well, I mean,
when he died, all of the things that had been spelled by his power collapsed.
Oh.
Were there things of great knowledges and like bookshelves? Yes, but as soon as he died, all of those bookshelves became dice-sized under the massive pressure. So
I guess if we were to speedrun this, the ending that I see for Zazzit is he reports the Dawn Agreement. that it's been done. They honor him or whatever they do, and they go about their business trying to protect humanity. And then Zazzit retires and finds out a way to bring back his familiar into a form that he can be a little bit more intelligent based. And then Arthur, what happens? Do I get double crossed myself, or what's the deal there?
No. Listen, the thing about having a whole world is that you can divide it in half, and each of you rule half of it using your dark necrotic powers. The real question is Zazzit willing to become undead in order to live forever?
Now, what type of undead are we talking about?
She's willing to teach you how to become a Dracolich.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool.
All right. So normally you have to be a dragon to become a Dracolich, but you know how a lich is where you take your soul, you remove it from your body, and then you bind. Yes. A Dracolich is where you take your soul and you put it into your skull because it's the only thing that can contain your immense fucking power.
And then I'm just a floating skull.
For the rest of time, yes. Now you can, like you can manipulate things telekinetically and such. You'll have an array of powers.
Is this after I naturally expire? Or is this like...
Well, you could wait until you naturally expire, or you could accelerate the process.
There's a lot of things that I would like to... that Zazzit would probably want to do while he was alive. Organs.
All right. Yeah. Well, in that case, Numia is upset, but she understands, and she begins her millennia's long plan to create a giant army in order to enforce permanent peace over the land.
So Zazzit will come back in his old age, and I think lizard folk are going to live to like 30.
Yeah, it's not long.
Something like that.
You're like, Numia, I want to live my whole life. And you come back 2 years later, you're like, all right, I'm ready.
Yeah. And then he'll go through the process.
All right.
And I'm not sure what happens to the world after that. But
yeah, I'm not sure either. The story of Zazzit the Dracolich and Numia the Ill-Timed is a story for another time, yet unwritten. But it does involve a lot of fucking skeletal warriors. That's what I know.
Yeah.
Well, technically you would level up if you hadn't died and come back as a Dracolich, but I guess as a Dracolich you keep your character levels, so...
Yeah. Feel free to use him as an enemy in another game, Arthur.
I'll think about it. He crosses the planar borders through time and space. He's just a floating skull. He's like, oh, hey, guys, how's it going? I died when I was 30 years old. It was a real tragedy. I was trying to do things with my organs. I like those organs. They were my favorite organs. Lungs.
I haven't had another pair since.
I really like the gallbladder. I don't know what it did, but I like the shape of it.
I couldn't stomach the feeling of using someone else's organs.
Couldn't stomach the feeling. Oh my god. All right, that's it. That's the end. Well, I hope you were entertained. I hope you got your day in the sun as an evil necromancer.
It was pretty cool. I cast one spell the entire time I played this game.
What can I say? Sometimes necromancy is less about magical power and more about the friends you made along the way. Those you betrayed.
It's kind of funny because Zazzit was like really strong too. Like he never got into a fight, but he had 17 decks walking around with nothing on. So like, 17 AC. Like so he was a pretty chunky boy. So
I assume that Zazzit basically forms a band like Air Supply and goes on to make like Euro tunes, some really abstract folk music.
Or what you actually see, like you didn't get to see his like final years roaming the earth, but eventually
his late 20s. Just to be clear,
he creates a with his immense fortune that he got from being a successful agent and saving the world.
Immense fortune. Whoa, calm down.
It's more like
retirement
like
package.
Yeah.
I mean, 300 gold is enough to live the rest of a regular person's life on.
Yeah. So he makes like a bakery shop, and he learns the fine art of pastry making before he turns into the Dracolich. That's the post-credit scene of him just like icing something.
Incredible. I love the idea that this is what he needed his organs for, was eating bakery. dudes.
Yeah, that was the joke. Yeah.
All right. This is the second to last ending. Pondo has a lot of episodes left. I think he's got like 2 or 3 episodes left, but
Whoa.
he's
What the
sick
hell did
right
he
now.
get up to?
So he missed 2 weeks.
Ah.
Yeah, so he's a month behind everybody else. That's it. Go away, audience. We're done. Have a good time zone. Go away.
You don't have to go home, but you
You can't stay here. That's true.